Go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Let's have the roll call.
Kessler,
Here.
Walters,
Here.
Varden,
Here.
Ewert, Benner, Barton,
Here.
Crum,
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Tonight's invocation we give on by Councilman Martin.
Father, we just thank you for this day and for the beautiful weather that you've given to us. Lord, we pray that you be with us tonight as we do the work for the city. And Lord, we just thank you for your many blessings that you've given to each and every one of us. In your precious name, amen.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is our presentation and approval of minutes. A, minutes of September 28th, 2020.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of September 28th, 2020.
Second.
Motion second to approve the minutes September 20th, 2020. Discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Abstain.
Varden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 1, citizens to be heard. We have, first one is Odell Harper, 720 East Temp Hill, regarding a zone change and the petition that was presented to us on the zone change. So, Mr. Harper here.
Yeah,
We'd have you come up to the podium and give us your name again and address for the record, and then you'll have 2 minutes to tell us what you would like for us to hear.
name's Odell Harper. I'm homeowner 720 East Temple Avenue, Haysville, Kansas. I'm here today for the zoning change. I was unable to make it to the planning meeting because I work out of town, and along with our fellow neighbors, we were unable to make it to the planning meeting due to people working and kids playing sports and whatnot. So I've gone to every homeowner that was on the list. Besides, City of Haysville had 2 blocks. There's 2 people that live outside of the city. And everybody is overwhelmingly against changing this to a multifamily home from a single family home. As you can see, the majority of the people did sign it. There was 2 homes that couldn't sign it because of the way the family was set up, because both people in the home had to sign it. And that, the way the family was at the time, both people couldn't sign it. So we lost a couple, but they are against it. The main thing is for us is, you know, we invested a lot in Haysville. We've been here many, many years in that neighborhood. I've been there 12. Some people have been 20, 30. We bought into Haysville and into that neighborhood because it's a single family home. That whole neighborhood is single family homes. And that's what, the main reason why we bought there. We didn't buy in there for multifamily homes or duplexes or apartments or anything where we would have, you know, ultimately lived around them. But, you know, we want to keep the structure of our neighborhood. That's the last open lot in that neighborhood, is that, you know, and that neighborhood started single family homes, and we're hoping that we can finish it as single family homes. We feel that's what's best for our neighborhood that we live in, and hopefully you guys will vote in our favor for it, because, you know, we invest a lot of time in Haysville and we enjoy the city, and we look forward to living here for many, many more years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harper. Next one we have Brian, is it Legally? Legali? Okay. And go ahead and same thing, give us your name, address, and
Brian Legali, 1517 Obsidian Court in Wichita. I'm going to plan on building those duplexes there. They're nice duplexes. They're going to appraise around that 240, 250 mark. We're going to have sprinklers, sodded yards, fenced-in yards. I have a professionally landscaper taking care of it during the time people will live there. I'm very strict with my renters and stuff. I've got several rentals in town, and if you go through the neighborhoods there, you'll see that the houses are probably the prettiest ones on the street, the most well taken care of. I don't let them get by with much. I stay on them about everything, and so everything stays up, and I just don't see that there would be much problem. The zoning department agreed that it wouldn't adversely affect the neighborhood value-wise. They've done some checking with some of the other neighborhoods they've done in the area there, and they don't see that there's any adverse effect of it. So that's basically all I have to say, unless maybe has questions or anything.
Very good, thank you. Okay. This item will come up later in the agenda. This was just citizens to be heard. This was not set for a public hearing. The public hearing was previously done through the Planning Commission, which is where that takes place at this point. With that, then we're going to move on to item 2, which is introduction of ordinance and resolutions. It's a resolution of the City of Haysville, Kansas, adopting certain policies for the handling of the civil rights and fair housing complaints. This is a resolution that is needed to go along with our CDBG money that we received, so that we are in compliance of what's needed. So we would need to pass a resolution to be able to give out the $132,000 to our businesses.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve a resolution of the City of Haysville, Kansas adopting certain policies for the handling of civil rights and fair housing complaints.
Second.
Motion second to approve the resolution presented on the civil rights and fair housing complaints. Discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Also wanted to let everyone know we've had 13 applications for this money as of now. The deadline for this first round of money is this Friday, the 16th. So we're thinking by that time we may have at least another 10, I think, in what they've said. So it's in process, and hopefully we can get all this money out to at least these 13 and then maybe the other 23 businesses in town. So. Item 3, notice communications, governing body announcements.
Just from the library, their hours again right now running, it's Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 10 to 2, and on Saturday the building's closed, but you can call in to get a book or something and they'll come out and bring it to you, and they're closed on Sundays. And they also wanted you to know that early voting will begin at the library on the 27th. There'll also be some other dates, but I'll talk about that probably in our next meeting on the 26th. So that's what's going on in the library. And then school district, kind of hit and miss on sports right now. The volleyball team's been doing okay. I know we had girls golf, I think, is in their 3rd year is all at campus. And they had a freshman girl that qualified for state this year. So shout out to her. Cross country's been doing well. Football finally got back on the field last week, and I believe they traveled to El Dorado this week. So lots of activities going on in the district. Asking people to make sure that they're following the rules in the schools with the masks and everything, because we've had to miss some time with some sports and other activities. We've had people that have had to quarantine students and staff, and just the best we can do to try to keep everybody healthy so that we can keep the year going like it is. I know Andover's opening their middle school to middle school students to do on-site, and at the same time Newton is going to all online because of things. So how people behave can really make a huge difference on what the schools end up doing. So just ask for everybody's cooperation with that. That's all I got.
Okay. Any other announcements, council? If not, I have the senior center as usual. Common Ground Mobile Market will be at the senior center October 14th with fresh produce at noon. Chair yoga on Monday and Wednesdays at 10. Simple Support Weight Loss Group has returned. They'll meet every Tuesday at 1:30. Poker players are meeting every Thursday at 1. Commodity distribution is on Wednesday, October 21st at 1 o'clock. And Panatera bread will no longer be served. So questions, Senior Center 529-5903. That, then we'll move on into the others. We have a new business, which is the Small Sprouts Daycare. Have a letter from the Wichita Crime Commission wanting us to have ongoing support for the police department. And then we have an email from Cox that is up their channel changes. That will move then to item 4, old business. A, the capital improvements draft plan. Any, so the council can discuss that. Anything, questions or anything you want to bring up?
I've got a few things that I've highlighted on this, actually, Mayor. I've talked to you about a couple of them, but I just kind of want to touch base with everybody. Some of them I didn't. On the parks part, it just says Riggs Park remodel, and I know it doesn't have, I'm sure that's something that would have to be planned because it's not until 2025. Just wondering, when we were looking at this, one thing I'd like us to look at in that plan to see what it would take to enlarge the pond in a way that we could have more sloping banks, so that we keep trying to put rocks on it to help with the erosion, and they keep falling in, and it's just because of the way the pond's designed. If we could make the pond a little bit bigger so that we had sloping going into it, I think we'd have a better success at keeping it from being eroded. And so when we look at that remodel, I think I'd kind of like to look at the pond as well. And then on the sidewalks, on the part where it talked about Connected Wards 4th edition, would that be all the way up to Seneca, or would you go toward Broadway and go that way?
I would go down Seneca and then 63rd. Yeah,
Okay.
down Seneca to 63rd and over, so it'd be past Suncrest, Sun Addition, and then
Sunset
into Wordsworth.
Fields.
Sunset Fields and over the
So
tracks.
Sunset Fields would be included, they'd be connected.
That's where, yeah, that's where it goes down.
Okay. And I also wanted to, I'd mentioned this before, on the south side of Grand, on the west side of town, we've got a sidewalk there, but the sidewalks are in really, really bad shape, and they're right on the road. And my concern is that if we leave them in bad shape and somebody's riding a bike or walking or jogging on them and they slip on it and hurt themselves or something, or fall out into traffic. So I don't know if it's something we need to look at to see if we can repair those, or if maybe there's a section there we can maybe just eliminate because we've got the other big sidewalk on the other side. I don't know how that would work because we also have crosswalk down there, but I think we ought to look at those sidewalks as well. And I guess I should, this stuff is like I said, down 2020 to 2025 we have stuff on here, so just so people know, we're not talking about like doing this now. These are plans. I guess that's why I was looking at about that, and I was wondering about Timber Creek. I know Timber Creek is mentioned on here on the sidewalk, so would that include lights when we would do that one too? Are we gonna try to tie most of our sidewalks and our lights in together?
If we do, yeah, sidewalks to these additions, we'll do the same lights that are there as we've done on Meridian right now. The Timber Creek is actually in the county. That one may be tough to get them on, those lights on.
Okay. And this one I talked to you, kind of mentioned to you about, because in here we've got talking about doing a study on the pool, and then also doing a third gym at the Hack. And I think that's something we should try to maybe do, that test on the pool and stuff, and try to make it so that if we find out we do need to do something with the pool, that we do that at the same time as the Hack and tie it together. That way, if that area up there's tore up, it's only tore up for one season instead of tearing up to do one thing and then 2 years later tear it up to do another thing. I think that would be something that's in the same area. It's going to be for rec. It may be something we'd want to look at to maybe change the date of that pool study so that we could maybe do those at the same time. Are we looking at putting lights around Dorner Park Lake where the sidewalks are?
Yes.
Okay. I saw we saw electric in it, but I didn't actually see the lights. We don't have lights on the sidewalk that lead to the skate park. So I guess I'd kind of like to see that one actually probably sooner than later if we could look at that. Um, I'm running out. It was a plan, I decided what the heck. I know we looked at this years ago, Randy looked at this years ago, and I think it'd be something that would be worth looking at again, is that's running public works and all of those facilities over there with solar or with wind energy. We've got a lot of land out there. I mean, I don't know, I know that Kansas has great potential for solar power. I don't know, I just wonder if maybe we could evaluate that over the next couple of years to find out if that's something we could do out there and try to run it that way.
I agree. I think whether it's wind or solar, right now, solar would be a thing on what Evergy does out there. There are some problems we know with that, but yeah, at what we pay for electricity on the public works, it'd be, I think it's worth doing a study to see what the cost is, how much it could produce, how much of a solar field we would need to produce the electricity. So, yeah, I think doing a study,
Okay.
something to come up with, because we spend a huge amount of money on utilities over there.
And then, last meeting, we did a thing, so they're gonna do a study on water, and I talked to the mayor about, would we have a need here for a second water tower? Because I know for a while we were talking about it, and if we're gonna do a study already, we might as well see if we need something on the east side of town, which he said they would look at for that too. Drainage, have we ever put in storm drain on Stewart Street? Okay, we've got to figure out a way to do that. I mean, when I used to live over, I know there's like 3 or 4 houses over there that in the spring they have water in front of their house the whole time, and in the winter they have ice in front of their house the whole time because it just doesn't drain anywhere. And the open drainage system we have there north of the stadium that we always have to mow and everything, if we covered that and made it a closed system, would that help with the blue-green algae problem in the pond, or would it make it worse? And would it be better to not have to deal with that if we enclose that?
But we did half of it here a few years ago.
I know, that's why I didn't know.
Behind the homes down there. That'd be a question for KDHE or somebody to tell us, because I know at one time, the more vegetation you have coming through helps.
Right,
Okay.
that's why I didn't know if it'd make it worse, or if the way the drainage coming off the road would actually make it better, because everything coming in would be coming off of the sidewalks and the streets more. I didn't know, but that was just something that, because I know we always have complaints every year in the spring and the summer because it needs mowed because it comes up quick. It wasn't that long ago we mowed it, and we haven't had that much rain, and it's already 5-6 feet high in some spots. So that's what I did. I went through and looked, and those were just some suggestions I saw.
Someone's take them all, so we'll know. Anything else, council?
I had one kind of, goes along kind of with Councilman Crum. Over in the River Forest, the first and the second edition of putting a sidewalk from that area. I don't know how, because I don't know the logistics and how to get back through that, across the creek. But tying that into the other that goes back by Public Works and the skate park and,
From River Forest?
yes.
I mean, over.
No, the one, I'm sorry, that's the
you
one
live-
down here.
One you live in.
Yeah, the one I live. No, I don't live there. I live by it, but I don't live. Anyway,
To tie that in to get down to the,
like the Public Works and the skate park, the Old Oaks pond, that type of stuff. Of course, they have a pond of their own. I understand that, but there had been talk in the past of maybe possibly bringing that bike path or the hike and bike path back and tying it in.
doesn't it tie in now? Am I thinking of the wrong place?
Are you still thinking about River Forest?
You're thinking about
One down south, on
South
Okay.
Main?
South
River
of
Forest
you.
is on
south
there.
of you.
south of you. It's not the word you.
Timber Creek.
Timber Creek, okay. All right, long addition.
Yes. Timber Creek is the one, Mr. Crum was talking about going up to it for sure down, Seneca or Maine.
Right.
That one would be tied in right there. And, I don't know if the plan that was done ties that any further in. We have talked about going all the way to 79th and then down 79th. Future wise, that takes it into the new park over there.
Okay, all right. That would work. Okay, that's all I have.
Anything else, Council?
Have we looked at any additional like Wi-Fi hotspots around the parks or the city or security cameras? I know we have some set up around town, parks and stuff. Would that be something for the capital improvement or?
We're gonna,
fun?
I think there are more parks we have still put on, Georgie.
We can still add Kirby, that's one that we've looked at. We have Whistler and Pear Tree that we could add something on, so those are additional ones that we could add to.
Yeah, and we want to continue with the Wi-Fi. So yeah, that'd be something we put in, make sure that all the parks have Wi-Fi in them.
So I know that could be expensive as the farther out you get.
A little harder to boost them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And along with the hack, have we looked at racquetball courts?
We have not. I don't know what kind of demand there is out for racquetball anymore. We have had people ask about pickleball more, but I don't think we've had anybody ask about racquetball. Any racquetball people? I mean, at all? Okay.
I was just wondering.
Racquetball used to be fairly big, I know. I think it kind of died down, and now pickleball has become the thing that people are asking for.
I think you use the courts for the same thing, can't you? Because I play racquetball, haven't played pickleball, but I think the courts are very similar.
I'm guessing I'd have no idea. We'd have to ask our rec.
Pickleball is more like
Volleyball
tennis.
inside.
Yeah, like tennis.
Yeah, it's in court.
Yeah.
For the pickleball, I think you need a little more open space than what you do for your racquetball court. Since on racquetball court, you use all four walls and the ceiling on a racquetball court. Pickleball, you just go over the net back and forth. So I think you need more space to go backwards to do that and sideways for pickleball than you would for racquetball.
I think the people that used to play racquetball play pickleball.
Or playing pickleball, that's correct.
It's an age thing.
There is an age thing out there.
That's all I have.
Okay, anything else? We're not gonna ask for approval or anything, because we wanted to continue to discuss this as you come up with things that we can add to it. So, as you continue to think about that, let us know, so we can continue to put them on it before we do any approval anywhere.
I do want to mention the sidewalk at one time around the lake in the Southampton area. I don't know if that's back in, or I didn't see it, but to mention that and see if we can't maybe do something like get that added in there if it's not.
Talking about around the drainage ponds.
Right. Attaching it to the park at the end.
I have one other thing too, sorry I forgot. I've had several people, especially in Ward 3 and around the put of trash cans, by the outdoor trash cans, by the benches that are being put out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I forgot about that while ago. So.
I think we already ordered them.
Oh, have we? Okay. I guess that's a good issue.
Yeah,
All right.
Georgie's already on that.
All right.
Again, other questions, anything, bring them up. We'll continue with this thing because it's a long-term 5-year type situation. So we want to make sure we get a lot of them in there. With that, then we're going to move on into item 5, which is other business. A, consideration of the zone change request. You have the information given to us from the Planning Commission on the public hearing that they had. The Planning Commission recommended that the zone change be approved. They went through the rules of Golden, found no adversary type things like the rules of Golden. The vote was a unanimous vote to approve it. Tonight, since you have a petition, there'll be 7 votes to approve. You can send it back or you can disapprove with 5 votes. So with that, we'll open the floor to council on zone change requests.
I have a question on the report from staff. It says length of time the property has remained vacant as zoned. I guess my question is, I don't know if staff can answer this or not. Has it ever been marketed to be sold as it's zoned right now? Have they
Yep.
tried to sell it?
It was sold that way. The homeowner to the east is the one that sold that property. To the east?
I'm to the east.
Okay. You're the first one to the east. This is to the west?
East to the west.
You're to the west?
It's the people I bought the house from
Right, that sold it.
that owned the lot.
Okay. So it has been marketed by the people that own the lot.
As single, they've tried to sell it. They've had, that's why I was trying to, I cannot think of a time I've ever seen a sign
And we have
or
lived there over 20 years.
anything
and we
at
were told
all.
It was never going to be.
So
We never
that's what my concern is I don't know if it was ever actually marketed and tried to be, did they have a real estate agent say, hey, build a single family house and put it here where all these other single family houses are and where it's zoned.
There isn't any audience participation, I'm sorry. That's what the public hearing would have been about. Any questions will go to staff to answer for them.
So that's why I didn't know if staff could answer, because I just know that it says it was sold, that the city owned it until 2007, and then we sold it, and it's remained vacant. It doesn't tell me if it was ever marketed and tried to be sold as single-family lots.
We
like
sold
is.
it. We sold it to the person at that time that lived to the east. You bought the person's at the east on the house.
Yes.
You bought his house.
I bought the house from the people that owned the lot and the house.
Right. So the people that, before you that owned the house, sold the lot. So it's been marketed because the lot, we weren't involved. We sold it to the person that owned the house at that time, the east. And then that person sold his house to someone else, and that person then sold the lot. So it's been marketed by, whether real estate signs, I don't know, but it has changed hands more than once. And it's always been zoned as single family.
He was a member of the city council when he bought it.
Excuse me?
He was a member of the city council when he
Yeah,
bought it.
I know who he is, yeah.
Okay.
Is this a homeowners association area?
No.
No. Stat, how long has Mr. Lagley owned the lots? The lot?
No. It's in here somewhere. Looks like August 18th,
2020?
2020, yes.
I can just say that I'm probably going to vote against this because I've never seen that lot advertised or sold as it's zoned right now. And I think unless there's been an honest effort to do that it's not right to the people living around it to go ahead and allow a zone change if you haven't tried to sell it as a single lot. And I don't think there's been an honest effort. An honest effort, like I said, I haven't even ever seen a sign there. So, to me, there hasn't been an honest effort made. Now, granted, I haven't been looking for homes, so I don't know if it's been posted on other things, but I just don't feel right about it. In the middle of a neighborhood, it says right in our stuff that we got that it's not a normal thing to do this just right in the middle of a neighborhood. It's not like it's up against railroad tracks or something that's completely different from the rest of the neighborhood. It's just dead in the middle of the neighborhood. So
And
I guess, I mean, if you came back, if somebody tried to sell it for a year and came back in a year and it hadn't sold as single family lots and then I would consider it a zone change, but I don't think there's been an effort to use it as it's zoned.
Other, council?
I would
Janice, you have something?
agree at least to a
Yeah,
point.
I would agree
Go ahead.
with Steve on that. I've been through that neighborhood a lot over the last few years, and I've never seen it marketed. And to plop duplexes down in the middle of a neighborhood just doesn't sound right.
Okay,
It would seem that if apparently the entire neighborhood is asking not to do this, and I'm just wondering what kind of workaround or compromise, if any, have they tried to do with the neighborhood? It sounds like we're prodding this and they don't have a say, and this doesn't sound right to me.
that's what public hearing was for, and planning
I
commission,
understand.
and I
Apparently a lot
understand
of
that
people-
some of them couldn't make it.
Yeah,
They were all notified. All of the people within a 200-foot radius of this were notified. No one showed up at the planning commission meeting at all to protest or say anything about it at all. We understand they had different reasons for not doing that. So they truly had notification.
okay.
Other council questions or statements?
I guess my take on it is, I mean, if he owns the property and he's gonna build, why not just build a single family dwelling, instead of a duplex?
Well, I'm sure that it's more for income. If you actually look at the size of this lot also, the size of this lot is double the size of any other lots over there.
Right.
So it makes it so that someone wants to split the lot. In fact, he can split the lot at this point and do a lot split and have two lots.
Right.
So that's what the proposal is the lot split and duplexes on each lot if it was rezoned at that point. So he still could build single-family residences on each lot if he would like to.
Well, that's what I was saying, he could split it and build two single-family.
Yes, he can.
And that way, I mean, he's still got income from rentals or whatever, and the neighborhood still has single-family dwellings.
That's correct. So if it stays residential, then whatever is allowed in residential can be built there.
Right.
I'm kind of with like Mr. Walters as far as like there's like 19 people on this petition, all the neighbors. I realized there was one reason or another why they could not attend the public hearing, but I know that a lot of them are here tonight, and 19 neighbors signed that they did not want it there. So
It comes out about 40% of the properties that are within the 200-foot radius is what the petition signed by.
okay.
Because there's a lot, if you look at the full 200, there's a lot more properties that are within the 200-foot radius. But this was signed by the number you saw there, which is 40%.
Okay.
And if you look at the numbers, so you know, most of those are fairly close to this property.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to make a motion that we deny the zone change request as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to deny the zone change as presented. Other discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, that only took 5 to do. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 6 to send it back at that point. So the property will stay at this point as a single family. Has the lot split already been done?
Yes.
There are 2 lots there now then. The lot split has been completed. The applicant, the owner, can build at this point whatever he wants to as far as the single-family residences go. There are large lots, supposedly because of the size, so he can build whatever the requirement is on residential over there. Whatever you decide to build, if you wanted to build something. Okay, with that, we're going to move on into item B with authorization to spend the CARES Act funds.
Hopefully everybody had a chance to read the memo that's in the packet. I can answer any questions on that, and if it's confusing at the end, what I'm asking for is authority to spend up to whatever the amount the county actually allocates for the city of Haysville. Earlier in the memo, you saw that they allocated $15 million to all cities within the county. That includes Wichita, and they're distributing the money or allocating it on a per capita basis. The initial agreement that they sent to us gave us about $237,000 of the CARES Act funds. They have not given us another agreement, so I don't have the exact number, but I calculated it out to about $350,000. You can see the items on there that have already been purchased, including the council room expansion and the public works remodel there. Both of those to help stop or slow the spread of the COVID. We've watched I've watched a lot of their stimulus review teams meetings at the county level, and we've looked and seen what some other cities have done. So I'm pretty confident that those would get approved, and if they talk to us about not approving them, I could give them examples of other cities that have used the same CARES Act funds to do what we're doing in the council room and at the public works. Some of the things we're looking to do is actually get some computers that could be mobile, so if we do have to, based on whatever state or county orders, send people home to work, they'd actually be able to do that. Some of the employees that currently have desktop type computers but have work that they could do when they're out of the office space and use our server to log into our server and do their work. That's the main thing we're looking at now. Also potentially at some of the different locations where we have customers come in, such as the activity center and the senior center, potentially looking at some devices that make it easier to check temperatures and things, some of the things that have been recommended.
So you're looking for authorization to spend up to the $350,000 that the county would be giving to us to take care of any of the COVID expenses that we've had at this point.
And if they,
Do we need to give an amount, or can we just make it for whatever?
I would recommend making the motion to be up to whatever the county allocates to us. I think it's going to be around $350,000, but they have not given us the new agreement to actually give us the number. So if you made it to be up to whatever the county allocates, and then you could even add in there not to exceed $350,000 if that would be more comfortable for council.
Okay.
Well, this has to be spent by October 30th.
They've given the October 30 deadline, but they have pushed back their reporting. So we haven't given them any reports yet because they haven't asked for those at this point. They gave us a sample of what the reporting form would look like. So I don't know if they're going to allow us more time to spend. We're going to plan on getting it done before October 30th.
Yeah, so I'd rather not mention up to 350,000 because
I wouldn't either.
then we're limiting ourselves if we get more than that money, and we have to spend it by October 30th, which we only have one more meeting by then. So
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with, I don't think we should put a cap on it. We should just say, spend that way. If they give us more than that, we've got it. I mean.
Just what is allocated by Sedgwick County. Just leave it that way.
Right, and that's what Will has said at this point, whatever the allowance is, but not put a cap on it at this point. Anyone want to make that motion?
I'll go make a
I
motion.
make a motion that we allow Will to spend up to what is allocated by Sedgwick County for the COVID CARES Act funds.
Second.
Motion second to approve whatever Sedgwick County decides to send to us from the COVID money that they've received. Other discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Arden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item C then is consideration of the purchase and installation of the cured-in pipe, place pipe.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is consideration for 3 proposals for installing cured-in-place pipe in the sanitary sewer collection system. Cured-in-place pipe is installing a liner inside the sanitary sewer, and a curing element is utilized to make it attach to the inner walls of the sewer pipe. This tremendously cuts down on the amount of stormwater and the groundwater infiltrating into our sewer system. There is approximately 10,418 linear feet of pipe identified to be rehabbed for the calendar years of 2020 and 2021. I am seeking approval to accept the proposal from Citriform Technologies in the amount of $266,471.60. This is a budgeted item for 2020 and 2021, and the contractor has indicated the work will begin in 2021. I stand for any questions you may have.
Hey, Tony, the map we got has I'm taking all the lining is green and there's one section that's blue.
Yeah, that was an
Maple
error.
Street. Is that just a mistake or is that something special?
Yeah, that is one of the lines that is being cured in place pipe. For some reason, when I made the map, it stayed blue for some reason.
Okay.
Good catch, though.
Well, I was looking around for the key and I couldn't find a color key.
Anybody make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Instaform Technologies for $266,471.60.
Second.
Motion second to approve the purchase and installation of the cured and pipe as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item D is a consideration of the excavator engine replacement.
So our recently purchased used excavator has experienced some mechanical issues that Murphy Tractor has been attempting to repair and diagnose. They have presented us with two options to address the issues. The first is making repairs to the existing engine. This could potentially leave any unknown issues present in the engine. The other option is purchasing and installing a remanufactured engine, which comes with a 1 year and limited hours warranty. We have discussed extensively with Murphy Tractor, and they have agreed that we will only be responsible for 50% of the incurred costs. Therefore, I am seeking approval for the repairs, the diagnostics, and installation of the remanufactured engine for a total of $20,569.29. This will be paid out of equipment reserve. I stand for any questions you may have.
Just to be clear, looking at that, I assume then that the 12,000 we've already spent on repairs and the 29 for remanufactured, we take that together and ask for, and agree that we pay half, that's where the 20,000 comes from.
Yeah, it's half of the repairs, diagnostics, and the remanufactured engine.
So it would cost us an additional 20,000 to get the remanufactured.
The total invoice would be $41,138. The 50% would take us our total, that 20,000 number.
Oh, we haven't paid for the repairs diagnostics yet?
Correct.
Okay.
Tony, I just want to say whoever went and got 50% off was good job.
That was, kudos goes to Dan Jones, our heavy equipment mechanic. He's got a lifelong experience in heavy mechanic, and he's been very, very helpful in this situation.
That's good.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
What did we, I know we just bought this 12 months ago, so what did we pay for this? Do you remember?
$123,500.
What year is it, or how old is it, or how many hours?
Had just over 5,000 hours, and we put about just under 200 hours on it since we bought it. And that was kind of what I would call some of the leverage we had with Murphy Tractor, was we had under 200 hours that we put on the machine, and that's probably part of the reason why we were able to get 50% of the cost covered.
Other additional questions?
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the excavator repairs for a remanufactured engine for a total of $20,569.29.
Second.
Is that what you needed, Tony?
Yes.
Okay. Have a motion and a second to approve the excavator engine replacement as presented. Discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Thank you.
Item E is consideration of temporary special event permit for consumption of alcohol, liquor, and cereal malt beverage on public property. This one again is over in the historic district. So this is one that we've approved before, since it takes that approval.
And you can see in the packet, on the second page, some handwritten notes there. They're planning on having the rental from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The reception will be at 2. They're going to plan on staying inside the building, which is already an approved location, like the mayor mentioned. Just looking for approval for this special event.
Make a motion, we approve the temporary special event as presented.
Second.
I have one question about it.
Okay?
Is
It says their expected attendance is 60 people, and that building's not very big. What if the recommended from Sedgwick County is like nothing indoors more than 15 people, and we've got this rented out to somebody with 60?
We can make a note on it that says they have to abide by any county guidelines as well. And you can make that in the motion even.
I think that would be a good idea.
Does Sedgwick County have that restriction right now?
What are the numbers right now? I
So
don't-
basically, if they wanted to, and this would just be an example, I haven't talked to them about how they're planning on setting up, they could have 4 different areas. Each area could have 15 people in it. If the groups are spread out by 6 feet between each group, then they'd meet the county requirement. So the maximum number is
Right.
15 when you cannot socially distance, so.
Yeah, because you can set 15 people next to each other in a restaurant, and then you have to separate them by 6 foot, so.
I just feel like we need to make sure that we're following the guidelines set by Sedgwick County when we're renting out stuff like this.
When was the time frame?
The current guideline from the county health officer is October 21st. This stays on November 7th.
Okay.
So we'll have to see if they extend
We'll know
anything.
by October 21st what, any changes they made before this is there. Okay. We have a motion and a second, didn't we? Do anybody want to amend that to add, as long as it meets county guidelines?
Yeah, I'll go amend my motion to reflect that.
And do we have a second for that? Same second?
Second.
Motion second to allow permit as long as it meets the county guidelines for numbers of people. Other discussion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes?
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 6, department reports. Will?
Okay, this Thursday, we have the Sedgwick County mobile testing for COVID-19. They'll be at the community building again. Testing is from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. Currently, mobile testing is only for residents with symptoms and contacts of cases. Certain professions, such as healthcare workers, continue to be tested regardless of symptoms. There is no cost to be tested. That's Thursday morning, 8:30 to 11:30 at the community building in the historic district. And in the packet, you'll see we have the quarterly economic development report. That's all I've got.
Thank you. City clerk doesn't have anything. Does you have anything? No. Chief, did you have anything?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our visiting officer this evening is Officer Mark Spunts. He's assigned to the night shift, so he's up a little before his normal time right now. So say hi to him as you go by. Also, just wanted to remind everybody that the PD will be participating in the annual drug take back on October 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. here at the police department. Years past, we've had people actually bring items into here that they wanted to dispose of, their old medications and things. This year it's going to be a drive-through event, so that way we can maintain social distancing, keep people in their cars. All they have to do is just bring them by in a bag, out the window, into the bucket, and it's all taken care of. So that way we can maintain social distance, but at the same time, still be able to get those medications that people don't need anymore or don't want anymore, taken care of and disposed of in the right manner. And that's all I've got. Thanks.
Thanks, Chief. Tony, Public Works?
Just got some pictures here for some project updates. I know some of you may have to turn around. This is the sidewalk on West 71st from Meridian to HWMS. It is now complete. The bottom picture is where it ties into actual HWMS there. Next up, we have the Veterans Memorial. Currently, we're just finishing up final touches and dialing in the flagpole lights to get that stuff completed for the Veterans Ceremony on November 11th. Next up, we have Dorner Park. This is one of the canopy pads that has a picnic table underneath it along with the grill there. You can kind of see in the middle there. The contractor's still working on the rest of the concrete. They should have the concrete border around the playground on the north side of the lake finished this week as well. And the reason why we were in this room, the remodels for City Hall and Public Works. This is Public Works. They've gotten the floor complete. They are looking to start framing late this week. And then next up we have City Hall, which is the reason why we're here. They got all the demo completed and we'll start framing up those walls starting tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Rick, Rob?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Haysville Recreation's Youth Basketball League deadline is October 23rd, and on October 25th, we will be hosting our Halloween Spooktacular in Dorner Park, which is located at 400 West 79th Street. Kind of go over a couple things. We'll have photo booths, games and activities, which are up on the north side on the soccer fields. The trick-or-treat alley will be on the bike path that goes all the way around Dorner Lake. I think right now we have 8 to 10 vendors that are coming out to pass out candy. Down to where the bike path goes through the trees, we'll have our spooky trail. Big trucks will be located on the parking lot that's on the north side of the pond. We do ask if you do come out, we will have multiple sanitizing stations throughout the games and throughout the trick-or-treat alley. We do encourage you to stay socially distant and wear a mask if you are not able to. Come out and join us.
And you see, the reason that we've moved it over there is to spread everyone out, make sure that the candy stations are going to be considerably spread out. My understanding, some of the people are even working on the candy not even being touched, basically.
So each one of the candy stations, we'll provide them with an 8-foot long table where they can stand at the short end and then be able to distribute across, so there'll be distance between the vendor and the kids. There are some that are making candy slides out of guttering that are a good 8-10 feet long. They can put the candy in and it slides right to them into the bag.
So we're still going to try to do something for the kids, but we want to make sure it truly is totally as safe as we can make it.
Is this city handing out candy, or is this businesses doing it?
This is
just
the rec department, and we have a couple volunteers.
Yeah. So city is not, city businesses will not do theirs as they've done in the past. They've canceled it. The Haysville Forward is the one that sponsored it, and they've canceled that one. So this will be something for the kids to have, since that's being canceled. We're not in charge of canceling Halloween. We have had some calls to see if we're canceling Halloween. We don't have that kind of authority out there to cancel Halloween. That's up to each individual person, what they want to do with their own property and children and that type of thing. So, Halloween is still 31st. Thank you, Rob. Often citizens here, anyone else who would like to speak, this is the time. Off of the agenda with having not signed up previously.
Does that include the public or no?
Excuse me?
Does that include the public or no?
Yeah, the public that wants to speak now. Sir?
I'd just like to thank you for
You need to, yeah, come up and name and address and everything for the record.
Hi, my name's Greg Barber. I live at 338 North Jane, and I'd like to thank you for hearing Odell on the rezoning, and I'd like to thank you for your consideration on that. My apologies, we were doing a renovation, and our notification for the meeting on the 24th got put away with everything else off the counters that week, and next day I looked at my wife and said, we missed that last night. So thank you, Odell, and thank you, Commission, for hearing us tonight.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak? Now is the time for any citizen to let council know what you want to hear. Forever. Okay. That, we're going to move on into our agenda. Item 8, bills be paid. Bills be paid for the first half of October.
I'll make a motion to pay bills for first half.
Second.
Motion second to approve the bills first half of October. Discussion? Question?
Kessler?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 9, council items, council concerns. Any concerns anywhere, council? Seeing none, we'll go into the council action request. 401 North Marlin will be abated. There was a bench warrant issued. It'll be posted on 10/15 so that it can be taken care of. 183 North Marlin, which is really 187 North Marlin, is being remodeled. The contractors have moved the siding off of the ground and we're putting it on the house. Item 10, adjournment.
Mayor Council, I'll make a motion we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
Motion, second, to adjourn. Discussion? Question?
Hessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burton,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.